perfect first date.
What's the perfect first date? I always have the problem of, you're like, on a first date, you don't want to bring up, like, the fact that you're in therapy or, like, the fact that you're unemployed. Like, there's a couple things you don't want to really bring up when you're on a first date.
I'm the boy who lived.
Or, like, when you're on a date, you're not sure that it's a date.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went on a couple dates that I thought were dates
that
turned out the other person thought were just outings with a friend.
Their friend paid for dinner.
The friend paid for dinner and tried to kiss you.
So basically, it's like if you're on one of those in one of those situations, it's like it's like being at a car dealership, and it's like, all right, let's both write down if we think it's a date or not, and then exchange notes.
Exchange numbers. Let's see what we think is fair.
And they're like, eh.
But then every once in a while you look at friends with benefits.
Business meeting.
Yoga instructor.
I went on a date one time with a girl, and it was like I was in high school. It was like a school dance, and she decided to break up. Or no, she decided to tell her best friend that she hated her boyfriend that night. Ooh. And so it was just horrible. And by the end of the night,
wait, was this was a dance, a school dance?
Yeah, it was like my prom one year. And so like she was like, no, I've decided to just tell her this.
Now is a great time to air personal grievances.
Exactly.
At a large public event that people are trying to remember.
I hadn't dated her before. It was a first date. I was like, oh, that's cute at prom. You seem all right. And then so like
you don't seem like the time to ruin an event.
Yeah, that's just the criteria. Yeah. And so by the end of the night, like, and I was just so disgusted with her because I would like cheer her up, like make jokes, and like by the third or fourth time I had to cheer her up, I took her to her house, and she's like, oh, I had a really good time, like, and she like wanted me to come in, and I didn't even want to like
touch her.
I didn't want to touch her, and I got out of the car, and I was like, I'm gonna have to hug her or kiss her, and so I just stopped at the bottom of the driveway and like. You know that in Return of the Jedi when Luke Skywalker gives that little salute to R2-D2 to raise his lightsaber? So I gave her like this Luke Skywalker salute, and I was like, "You have a good night."
Boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. So it looks like the question we answered was, "What is your worst first date?"
It really answers what kind of women we're interested in as women who are not horrible.
Not horrible.
No, it's a date.
Aren't trying to pick fights. Tell
the story about that breaking up with that girl at the sandwich shop.
I had been on a couple dates with this girl in college, and it wasn't clear what was going on with us. And we went out for a sandwich, and I had been thinking like, all right, this is enough.
First opportunity.
Good. And so she's like, listen, I just want to know if we're gonna be just friends or if we're more than friends. And I said way, way too quickly, just friends.
Boom!
And that's my final answer. Just silence, just heartbreak. And so I didn't know what to do, so I just slowly gobbled up half my sandwich. I wrapped it up and just like, all right, I'll see you.
That's also why you should always carry cash on a date, so that you just put your portion and maybe hers for something you said like that.
That sandwich is on me.
We were not just friends after that.
We didn't go on to become friends. The meanest things we've done to girls.
And the meanest things they've
done. The worst.
To sum up, miniature golf.
Miniature golf is the correct answer.
It's like, we're just gonna. At the worst, it's gonna be 18 holes. Like that's all you gotta get through.
Well, definitely let us know what's your best first date. What was your worst first date? We'll see you around.
Thanks a lot, guys.